Hey, I'm Mike.
And I'm Ben.
We are Smokey Boys Barbecue.
Today we are cooking some California cut tri-tip. We're gonna season it with some SCA All Purpose seasoning and some John Henry's City Market rub.
And then we're gonna finish it off with some chimichurri. This is by Frigoni. This is the original. We're gonna do a little mix at the end and do a little finishing. All right, let's prep this California cut today. So taking a look at our beef, we have a beautiful tri-tip. It's about a 3-pound cut. What we want to do with this is actually not much because it doesn't take much to get this thing going. So you want to leave the fat cap on. It's going to deliver good flavor. It's going to render down very, very nicely. On the back side, you do see some silver skin here. You want to remove that. There's not much already. This is a great piece of meat from Tri-County Meat Market. If you're ever in town, go and see them. They have some great selections. So let's go ahead and do a little trim on this. So basically just taking off the silver skin. It's fairly simple. You want to kind of raise the piece of beef, remove silver skin as you go. You can pull and remove at the same time. Don't get too deep on it. And then just kind of even it out. Little cuts like this are going to burn and they're not going to deliver good flavor. Since we're doing a sear today, you want to remove all the small pieces and chunks so they don't just kind of burn off. I mean, that's pretty much it. Silver skin looks good. Maybe cutting off this little piece here at the end just for good measure. And we're ready to go. So what I'm going to do is now season everything. I'm going to just add a little bit of olive oil. I like adding olive oil as a binder, especially on a cut like this. You want to put a lot of seasoning on this cut. And when you do that, it is a larger piece of meat. You're going to deliver good flavor during the cook. So let's get it all seasoned up. We're going to start with the base rub. So the base is going to be our all-purpose SCA. Go over a nice coating. I like to pat the meat down, basically driving those granules into the beef itself. When you do that, it gets deeper and delivers more flavor overall. I'm gonna do the other side as well. And then we're gonna go down into the other rub that we have as a finishing rub. Again, this is just gonna be our base layer. All right, now we're moving on to John Henry's. So John Henry's delivers a great kick of flavor, has some herbs in it, and it's really gonna pop whenever you're using this on your beef. We're gonna put some liberally on the beef, turn it over. And when we're doing this, you just wanna remember that everything that you're doing now is gonna affect the cook. You wanna put some on the sides. And as you can see, all those herbs, all those flavors are in there. Go ahead and push it into the beef itself. And we're just about ready to hand this over to Ben on the Big Green Egg. Let's get smoking.
All right, today we are cooking on the XL Big Green Egg. We're gonna be using Big Green Egg Yellow Label Charcoal. That's an oak and hickory blend. So we're gonna start off just by filling her up. With this, you want to fill it up to about the top of the fire bowl. And then once you have that filled up, then we're going to throw in a couple oak chunks. So this is some post oak. This is going to give it some nice smoky flavor. You're going to just throw 3 or 4 of these around the outside. Just kind of smolder along with the charcoal and give you that nice smoky flavor. We're gonna throw 1 extra in, because why not? Now that we got that in, we're gonna take our little lighter cubes. These are solid lighter cubes. They're mostly sawdust and wax. You never wanna use any sort of liquid lighter fluid. It's gonna soak into that ceramic. You're really not gonna like the taste. So we're just gonna bury a few of these down into the charcoal. And then you're just gonna light them up. Once you have that flame going, make sure you open the vents up all the way. And we're gonna leave the lid open, let the charcoal get started, and then we're gonna get ready to throw the meat on the grill. All right, we got our grill up to temp. We are right around 300 degrees. We are going to get the meat on here. We let it sit for about 15 minutes just to let the salt and the seasonings kind of pull some of the moisture out. So we're gonna get that right on the grill. We're gonna smoke it for probably about an hour, get it to about 115, 120, and then we'll get a good sear on it. So let's get that meat on the grill. We put it right in the middle. We got that convector in there, so it's going to be indirect heat. So we're gonna smoke it, let some of that fat render, and then once it's up to temp, then we'll get a good sear on it, and we'll be good to go.
All right, now the bin has the tri-tip on the grill. We're gonna go ahead and put together our chimichurri. Today we're using Chimichurri Original from Frigoni. We have this at Barbecue Outfitters along with all the other rubs that we're using today, so come out and see us. All right, first we're gonna open this up, and then we're gonna go ahead and pour 1 part chimichurri in the cup. What we need is for this to rehydrate. So in order to do that, you're gonna use 1 part white vinegar. Okay, so 1 part white vinegar, 1 part chimichurri. Mix it up a little bit and let that sit for about 1 to 2 minutes. It's not gonna take very long. But it is going to fully rehydrate and deliver a massive flavor. So let's go ahead and wait. All right, we're back. So now we're going to go ahead and add our extra virgin olive oil. You're going to do 2 parts virgin olive oil to the 1 part chimichurri and 1 part white vinegar. So we'll go ahead and fill that up. I don't think we have very much left, so I'm just going to pour the whole thing. And it's as easy as that. So you're gonna mix it up. Let it sit a little longer. Let's go see how Ben's doing on the grill, and we'll come back to you.
We are out here, we're gonna check this temp. So right now we are at about 120. So we're right about where we wanna be. So we're gonna pull this off the grill, throw it on our cutting board, and then we're gonna wrap it in foil. We're just gonna let this rest for the time it takes to heat up the grill. So next we're gonna pop out the grate. Again, get some good heat gloves. If you're gonna be working with green eggs or Kamado Joes, whatever, these are gonna be invaluable. We're gonna pull out the ceramic heat deflectors. This is gonna give us that direct heat that we're looking for to get that good sear and char on the outside of our tri-tip. So let's throw our grate back in. We're gonna open up all the vents. We're gonna let that heat up while that rests, and we're gonna come back, we're gonna throw this on, get a good sear on it, and then we'll be ready to finish it up. We'll be right back. We are up at about 550 to 600. We're really hot, so we're gonna get a good sear on this. This has been resting while we've been heating up our grill. You can see that nice hot flame going. So we're just gonna throw this right on there. We're going to let it sit right in the flame The goal is to get a nice kind of char on the outside, nice and crispy kind of crust on the outside. So we're gonna give it, a minute and a half on every side, and then we're gonna pull it off and get it ready to roll. All right, we're gonna flip it over here. You can see that nice kind of char, those grill marks, that's what you're really going for. The smell coming off of this is great. You're really getting that seasoning, really just hitting the nostrils, and it's smelling great. Can't wait to try this. One thing you really want to make sure you do is don't just sear the top and bottom. You really want to make sure that you get the sides. It's gonna get hot. Try to hold below the grill here. But you really want to make sure you get that char the whole way around to really seal in the juice and seal in that flavor. Flip it over. All right, now that we got this good char the whole way around the tri-tip, we're gonna pull this off. We're gonna throw it here. Shut your grill, go ahead and shut it down. And then we are gonna cover this. We're gonna take it inside, let it rest for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then we're going to cut it up, put some chimichurri on it, and we're gonna taste this. I'm sure it's gonna taste great. We'll see you inside.
All right, welcome back to the table. Ben brought in the tri-tip. We've let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes or so. So let's take a look at it. Oh my goodness. Big thing to know whenever you're cutting into a large piece of meat like this is cut against the grain. So let's go ahead and start cutting. I want you to see kind of where the grain is. So I see strands of grain going this way along the piece of meat. So what I'm gonna do is probably start cutting in this angle, and then we'll start cutting some slices.
Yeah, and that's the case for any kind of, they say cheaper cut of meat, but tougher cut. Tri-tips, picanhas, even brisket. By cutting against the grain, you're really gonna make it even more tender. The reverse sear is gonna do that, where you smoke it and then sear it, but cutting against the grain is gonna even add to that tenderness.
I love reverse searing a good steak. It brings so much flavor. You're gonna have that tender inside with that awesome seared outside. And that's what you look for with a good piece of beef.
It might be a little slower, it might take a little longer, but it's gonna end up being the best for the quality of the cook.
All right, we're gonna keep cutting into this. We're gonna probably plate with some rice. Then we're gonna add our chimichurri, and then we're gonna do a taste. You ready for that?
Let's do it. Show some of the rice rather than hide it all.
Yeah. All right, we have the chimichurri by Frigoni on here. It was a very easy fix, and it's gonna bring a lot of flavor. So I think we're ready to try it.
Let's do it, I can't wait.
All right, man. Ooh, big cut right here. Love that California cut. Cheers, brother. Yep. That is absolutely delicious.
It's so tender. That reverse sear, like I said, just makes it just fall apart.
The meat tastes good on its own, but when you add that chimichurri, that zest.
Yeah, that little bit of acidity and freshness mixed with the beef flavor.
Oh man.
It's just so good.
That is a winner.
Yeah, you can do a lot with this, but you can also just eat it on its own because it's great.
Absolutely. So here's to another cook.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Let's have one more bite before we go.
Let's do it. I'm gonna eat a whole one.
Hell yeah. Grab some rice in there.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so good.